I'm joking, they could probably get you on there for like a spot. You'd have to-
Good evening, everybody.
Yeah.
August 19th, 2024, and this is a regular meeting of Moscow's City Council. Julia.
Please stand if you're able and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, great. Thank you. Next up is the consent agenda, and this consists of items that have been previously vetted by either the Administrative Committee or the Public Works and Finance Committee, and consist of items that are either non-controversial or in the form of routine housekeeping.
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Haley,
Aye.
Drew,
Aye.
Sandra,
Aye.
Julia,
Aye.
Bryce.
Aye.
Okay, we're done with the consent agenda. Moving on to the regular agenda, mayor's appointments. I have none tonight. Takes us to item 3 as we skip right along, and it's public comments and mayor response period. And for the next 15 minutes in 3-minute increments, we invite people to come up to the podium and tell us what's on their mind, as long as it's not on tonight's agenda, nor pending before planning, zoning, or the Board of Adjustment. All you have to do is come up, name, residence, and go for it.
Good evening. My name is Nancy Tribble. I reside at 922 Clay Court, Moscow, Idaho. I am here to ask the City Council to strongly consider creating an ordinance at Friendship Square and supplying signs that would be marked "No Smoking" on both ends of Friendship Square, "No Disorderly Conduct," and "No Open Containers," as well as a phone number to be listed on the sign for people to call if they have a problem. So I'm making this request from personal experience. Our Remax Connections office moved there a year ago in January. When I say there, meaning we are 318 South Main. So we have the fountain to the south of us and then Hyperspud. So we have a direct view of Friendship Square and what goes on there. The fountain is a great, fun place for kids and families and, to play around. And we have the playground equipment down at the west end. Many times we're having to call the police for screaming, hollering of obscenities. I have personally experienced that. 9 a.m., I'm going to open the office, and I hear this lady screaming to another lady standing there in the cul-de-sac where the old police station used to be. Very loud. I walked over to see if everything was okay. And she turns around and tells me to mind my effing business. And I told her if she wasn't yelling at the top of her lungs, I wouldn't be hearing her business. But that's just one of many incidences. We have watched people pouring alcohol into coffee cups and then putting, their beer cans in the trash can. The smoking gets so bad, people sitting on the benches, that we close our doors because the smoke comes in. But routinely, I see people sitting down on the bench trying to enjoy the Friendship Square and having to get up and leave because of people smoking cigarettes and cigars. I don't have a problem with that in other places, but at Friendship Square, where it should be friendship and it should be family friendly, it's not. The police have been called multiple times, just in the last 30 days, 9 times. And they have encouraged us to be sure and call when we see this happening. Therefore, I am in front of the City Council asking that you create a special ordinance for Friendship Square to keep it that way. Any questions?
No, but just a comment, Friendship Square is a public park as far as the city is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
And we do know that problems exist, and we're trying to send the police through more frequently. And certainly open container laws exist for a reason. But I think everybody up here would be in agreement that we'll see what we can do to better things.
If there was some signage, then, for instance, if I'm trying to get a person to move from the bench at the end of the bench by our office door, I can say, "Excuse me, sir, we have an ordinance here and I need you to put that cigarette out or that cigar out." So I know we have it, but it's very difficult to enforce it when there's no signage to say, "Look, here's the situation." And that way, if it's on a Saturday afternoon and someone feels threatened, then they have a number to call. We have a lot of new people coming into Moscow, and I have heard some disparaging comments about, "I will not take my children to the playground anymore because the profanity was so bad." I asked the person to stop cursing, and they told me to, you know what, if I didn't like it. So I think we need to do more than just have more policing. I appreciate what they do, and they have encouraged us to call. But that's Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Nope, it goes beyond that,
I mean, that's when our office is there.
but it
But-
extends beyond that to anybody, anytime.
Absolutely. But if there's no signs there, people don't know, and they don't know who to call, and they don't have a way to point that out. So anyway, thank you for your time. I hope you seriously consider.
Thank you, Nancy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Nancy.
I'm Ben Merkel, 528 East First, here in Moscow. So good evening, Mr. Mayor, councilors. I wanted to alert the council to what I think may have been an oversight when last summer the city overhauled the procedures for appealing decisions for the city
Hold up
zoning
there.
administrator.
This is coming up before council in 2 weeks.
It
and
is.
We can't be hearing this because it constitutes ex parte.
But it's not before you tonight, though.
No,
Pending though.
nope,
So I can't
Sorry.
speak.
you can't.
I can't speak in 2 weeks either, can I?
No.
I won't be able to speak at
That's
that or
enough
right now.
there. So because this is a quasi judicial matter, it can't be heard by council in any form.
So I'm not actually speaking about that case. I'm speaking about the law that,
Nope, too close to it. So no.
really,
You can speak to us about the law pertaining to it, the council meeting after September 2nd, but not here at this one.
okay.
So thank you for your
There we go.
future comments. Okay, who else? Okay, hearing none, we move along to a public hearing, the open budget for fiscal year 2023 to 2024, and to review that and to make changes. So this is going to be in the form of a public hearing. So staff will come present. After staff presents, anybody who wishes to comment on the action can come up and present their thoughts on it. After that, public hearing closes and council deliberates. So with that, public hearing is open. Sarah Decker is presenting, our head of finance.
All right. Good evening, Mayor and Council. As you are aware, we are requesting an open budget. Open budget is to take in account unexpected changes from our previous fiscal year end and any unexpected changes that took place in the FY24 budget. This year, we are requesting 3 changes totaling $2,510,000. The 3 funds that are affected are the General Fund, the Sanitation Fund, and the Information Systems Fund. With General Fund, during the city's FY23 fiscal year end, General Fund had an unanticipated fund balance of $1.9 million. And this was unanticipated and unappropriated remaining fund balance. And below are a few of the notable revenues and expenses. The Moscow PD ended FY23 with just over $700,000 in salaries due to vacant positions. Community development ended FY23 with vacant engineering positions, which totaled about $250,000. The finance department held back their accountant 2 position, which was about $160,000. And the affordable housing, $160,000 that was in the budget, remained unspent. We also had some increase in revenues. Our investment revenue came in at about $217,000 over anticipated. And refunds and reimbursements was $275,250 over. So with that, we are requesting to open the budget for $1 million to be able to bring in this unanticipated fund balance and move it into capital projects during our fiscal year end through fund balance. Those revenues are appropriated within our capital fund and beginning fund balance with the FY25 budget. So the second fund is the sanitation fund. Over the last few fiscal years, sanitation had an unanticipated and unappropriated fund balance that has grown to $1,465,000. This was in anticipation of some unknown costs, and one of them was in regards to the post-closure landfill project. In FY24, we received an estimate of $3,591,476 for that project. And so we're requesting within the sanitation fund to be able to open the fund itself, bring in the fund balance of the $1,465,000. So during fiscal year end, we can move it to the sanitation capital fund, which is where the project will be expensed. And the third thing is within information systems, and I'm actually going to read this one. The Idaho Department of Transportation Office of Highway Safety receives grant funding from the National Highway Safety Administration. This funding is used to support grant programs and activities identified in the Highway Safety Plan. And information systems received on behalf of the Moscow Police Department $45,000. And this was actually approved already by council for the $45,000. So we're just asking to increase the appropriation to bring that $45,000 in. It will come into information systems federal grants, and we will expense it out of public safety within information systems within the FY24 budget.
At the end?
That's the end. Sorry. So with that, do you have any questions?
No, I know we've gone over this already, so.
Okay, thanks, Sarah.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Don't go too far just in case.
Oh, yeah.
So anybody from the public would like to comment on this particular piece of open budget? No takers, okay. Public hearing is closed. Council. Deliberate, conclude.
I get it. We have leftovers from last year. We're moving them to this year.
I mean, happily, we went over this pretty thoroughly, I think, a week ago.
Yeah.
Which is great. So it's not like it's the first time we're hearing this, so I'm thankful for it. We did have questions that were answered great, and it makes a lot of sense. It wasn't super confusing the first time around. So yeah, I'm all in favor.
All right, I move that we approve the ordinance under suspension of the rules requiring 3 complete and separate readings, and that it be read by title and published by summary.
Second?
Okay. I'm guessing no further discussion.
Sorry,
Bryce,
did you have something
I
else?
did not.
I'm sorry.
Aye.
Julia,
Aye.
Sandra,
Aye.
Drew,
Aye.
and Haley.
Aye.
Okay, that passes. We're up to 2024-14 or 15?
I wasn't prepared, Mayor.
That hardly
14.
ever happens.
14.
You're probably right. 14.
Yep.
All right. Just remember that from last
Good job.
council meeting. Okay, ordinance 2024-14. An ordinance of the city of Moscow, Idaho, a municipal corporation of the state of Idaho, amending ordinance number 2023-07, the annual appropriation ordinance for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2023 and ending September 30th, 2024, to appropriate monies in the sum of $2,510,000, providing for this ordinance to be in full force and effect from and after its passage, approval, and publication according to law. So there we go. That takes us briskly on down the line to reports.
Great.
Sandra.
Okay. We had Urban Renewal Agency about a week ago. I won't steal all the thunder because Drew's on that too. So we like to tag team a little bit. I will say that one of the things we are looking forward to is putting together a strategic plan to see what all can be done. We focus a lot on the 6th Street side, but there's some other things that might be a possibility, and we're looking forward to seeing what might play out there. And then my other really fun event was I had my fire regular meeting, but all the volunteers are back, so it felt big and full again, and it was really great to see all of the volunteers back. It was pretty quiet over the summer in that big Zipley building with just a few of the locals there. We all the students are there. There were a couple that were still making their way in, but big and bustling, and it just is a really great feeling to know that we have a lot bigger staff out there. And I would be remiss if I didn't bring out two quick things. One, Pride is this week, and this weekend is the event at East City Park, and a parade at 11:30, lining up the Federal Building. Starts at 11:30. And then the best event of the year, Howling at the Hamilton, September 8th at the pool, rain or shine, because the dog's going to be wet anyway and stinky. You might as well bring him. Best smell in the world, by the way, wet dog. You know you've had a good day if you smell like a wet dog. And it is from 1 to 6 at the Hamilton Aquatic Center this year. $15 per dog. It's a little bit of an increase, but just so we can help our pets on the Palouse. So that's a great thing. So thanks for letting me indulge there. I appreciate it, everyone.
Good. Julia?
We had farmers market meeting on the 6th. It was farmers market commission meeting on the 6th, which is always a treat. Some seriously dedicated volunteers on that commission and staff members. It was great to hear how they are working with vendors who maybe didn't quite make it into the farmers market in the last jurying, and they're willing to work with people to help them improve their jury. I don't know, their thing they do for jury, so that they can get in the market in the future. So that was just really encouraging to see people work with new vendors. And then we had the Farmers Market Week celebration downtown on Saturday, which was another fun event, really celebrating our great market. And not a city event, but Palooza Fest was this weekend. It was really wonderful to meet all the new university students and talk to people literally from all over the world and all over the country coming to the University of Idaho and feeling welcome here. It was awesome. I think that was about it for my city responsibilities this week.
Drew, you're up.
Yeah, so as Sandra mentioned, Moscow Renewal Agency, we had that talking about future of what it could be. We also, 2 weeks before we finalized the budget for that. So two really big tasks, and then really looking in the future about existing properties and future plans for that. So exciting stuff, I'd say, in the next 3 to 4 months coming forward. With that, Pathways Commission want to remind and update on September 17th at 5 o'clock. There's going to be a walking tour at Hordman's Pond over the Kiwanis Park over there. And so if you're wanting to do a walking tour, I encourage you to go there. That's all I have for my city business. So
Cool. Bryce?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So last week we had Planning and Zoning Commission. There was an update in the code with regards to subdivisions that had apparently been in the works for a couple of years, predating me, but it finally passed, and I think we'll be seeing it soon. So I can just say that the P&Z Commission was excited about this. So they were excited to get it through. I have the Human Rights Commission tomorrow, and as Sandra mentioned, Palouse Pride this weekend. And then other very official city business is week ago Friday, the mayor and I were in the same group for the mayor's golf tournament. And the mayor was, I think, maybe relieved, maybe a bit saddened that we did not come in last place.
I was saddened.
Okay, all right.
2 years
But-
in a row.
Yeah, no, we did not come in.
I know 2 years in a row he hasn't come.
All right, yeah.
That happens when you get ringers on your team.
But it was a great event. Good to see the community out for that. And same with Julia. I went to Palooza Fest this past weekend, and yeah, I was just really encouraged by the energy, by the amount of people that were there, both kind of from the community, but also students walking around. It was just a really encouraging event. And then last Tuesday, I attended the State of the University address at the University of Idaho, where President Green kind of laid out what had happened last year and kind of some of the expectations for this year. So it was good to just kind of have that information, both kind of with U of I, but also as it relates to kind of all being in that together. So it's been a good couple weeks. Excited for more. And it's the first day of classes, so woo.
Nice. Haley?
I just have a few thanks to council for I'm sorry to have missed the budget hearing, but I was gone for a family emergency, but I know that we had done all the really hard work of taking things line by line at our workshop in July. A lot of my time has been spent with Smart Transit. Our executive director left, and so I've been on the hiring committee, and we're doing what we can to make sure that we're maintaining service even without an executive director at the helm. We have someone internally who's acting as interim. My transportation commission meeting got canceled, and then I was just going to make a plug. It's been a few weeks, but I'm really lucky that in my day job I do some community outreach things, and I just want to commend our rural fire departments for how they handled both the Texas Ridge and Gwen fire complexes. I know the governor was in Lapway last Thursday touring it. I would just like to add two things that I learned through this. One, the Idaho Department of Lands has a really, really fantastic Facebook page. I've even been staying engaged, watching what they're fighting. I think in the Treasure Valley, I can't remember where their latest complex is.
And a McCall.
Yep.
Cascade area.
Yeah. And just huge kudos to the work that their communications team has done. But the other biggest thing that I learned in these past two fires is your rural fire departments are your first line of defense, and they need your support more than ever and always. And just kudos if you know anyone who lives rural and is a fan of keeping their homes safe during fire season. Just, thank your volunteer firefighters, even outside of the Moscow service area, and keep your property clean. They ask for 10 feet out from your house and 30 feet out from your house. And I think the comms that I wanted to share that I thought was really impactful was when you do that, that's showing that is a message to your friends and neighbors who are taking care of you in the rural fire service, that you are invested in making sure that they can do their job safely. So had some cool conversations in that regard with my work hat on. And other than that, I don't know where August went. If anyone could tell me, that'd be great.
I think it burned.
Yeah, no kidding. So yeah, that's what I got, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, goody. August is kind of the last deep breath we all get to take before we return to the usual bustle of town. So I don't have a whole lot either. Did do a couple of airport tours with the staff members of Senator Crapo's office out there, showed them the new facility, what they had helped us with to get the funding from the federal government to indulge in this project. Also, Kathy McMorris Rogers stopped by and took a tour and presented Mayor Johnson, former Mayor Johnson of Pullman, with a congressional record mention of what he's done for the airport. Subsequent to that, we had the airport ribbon cutting for the last ribbon cutting, probably for a long, long while, with the West End edition. And if you haven't been to the airport, I suggest you go out and have a look around. It is truly a spectacular facility, and we hope to attract some more airline service in the very near future to make it worth everyone's while. Other than that, we had the lovely golf tournament. The proceeds will be presented to a 501c3 group as soon as the financial books are closed out on it. And last Friday, I did a ride along with the police in the evening, which was enlightening. I must say the students were extremely well behaved. Some of our local citizens, not so much. So it's always enlightening. So I encourage people to contemplate participating in the Citizens Police Academy, which occurs every spring. Very worthwhile. I think it's an 11-week course, like on Tuesday nights for a couple of hours. Come and see what the police do and how they do it. And you too become eligible for a ride along to see how they do it. And I will attest to the fact that you can get from one side of this town to the other really, really fast with the lights on. So it's kind of terrifying, but exciting at the same time. So anything from staff?
The only item this evening, just a reminder, we do have our employee appreciation barbecue on Thursday night at the Hamilton Low Aquatic Center. So the council is encouraged to come out and congratulate employees for another great year. 48,
There's
correct.
been a lot of cornhole smack talking,
Oh, smack.
so I'm excited to see.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's all, Your Honor.
Okay, great. Okay, nothing else. We're adjourned. Thank you.